Good afternoon, YouTube fans. Admiral Preparedness here. Well, I'm coming on today to talk about Oregon, the state that has fruits and nuts galore. And today there's an example of how that is proven by the government there saying they're going to waive reading and arithmetic amongst school-age adults. So you can graduate high school, you don't need to count, and you don't need to read. Now, okay, well, let's see now. We have an all-volunteer military right now. Can you imagine what it's going to be like to round up qualified individuals to protect this country in a time of a war if you can't read and you can't do simple math? Even Jethro Bodine on a TV show as an adult first grader. Folks, I'm just sitting here trying to figure out who in their right mind would just go, let's just go ahead and waive the requirement that they can't, that we're not going to make them learn how to read, and then we're not going to make them learn how to do math, because some of this math is ridiculous. I mean, I've seen my kids going through school in the 90s, and you needed a PhD to figure out the math that these geniuses were trying to get these kids to do. It's 2 plus 2 is 4, 3 minus 1 is 2. They learn calculus in advanced grades. But when you're sitting down with your 6-year-old, your 9-year-old, you're trying to do this new math back then, you wanted to go to the government saying, "What are you thinking, folks?" I mean, my math book, I wish they could just go back into the libraries and grab a 1966 math book and say, "Here, teach them this." And then with visualization in math now, algebra is a breeze. Plotting, graphing, once you got an object, put a subject to it. But no, let's just go ahead and throw the whole thing out the window. And I'm trying to figure out who they targeting this non-requirement for. And then you got to think to yourself, well, I know why, but I'm not going to get called names for voicing my opinion. I'll just keep it to myself. But it doesn't make sense that a couple generations from now we're going to go, "Hi, did you do? How do you talk? How do you self-educate?" That's what I've been saying since I was a child. Is you put about 40 people in a room and say, "Okay, everybody like lockstep now. We got to learn all this together." Well, people learn differently. People learn at different levels. People learn at different speeds. In the military, they had a self-paced electronics progress where you every week you would sit there and go through the material, take the test. If you grasped the situation, they would advance you. If you didn't, they give you so many chances to fail, and then they move you to some other subject matter at a different rate. So instead of being a rocket engineer, you were a plumber. And trust me, even in the military, there are statuses of eligibility and statuses of where you were in the food chain, because in Great Lakes, Illinois, the people who had the less education were living in the worst conditions in the military. You had open berthing, bunking barracks. You had no doors. You had your locker and your key. When you're not getting stolen, you stripped the bed, and you had to go in every night and make your bed. And if you left your locker open, come back, everything would be gone. But in the advanced field electronics at the location that I was birthed, we had 2 people to a room, a nice lounge, we had vending machines, we had cafeteria within 2 minutes of walking, we had our main building right there next to us. We had easy peasy, nice and squeezy life of the elite in the military. And I felt so bad because I'd go over to my buddies and I'd sit there going, "What? How are you living like that? This is disgusting." Even on board a ship, you got at least some form of privacy to a point. I mean, this is not even normal. I'm looking at these poor guys going, "I don't want to be a gunner's mate or a machinist mate or a hull tech." Is damn. If this is how you got to live aboard a ship, I don't want it. Over there in the advanced electronics section of this base, we're living first class. If anything, we had a door guard, we had a greeter at the door, we had security. We knew that when you didn't have to worry about your room getting ransacked by that riffraff that was running around. I don't know, folks, but when Oregon decided to go ahead and waive the requirement to be able to read, the ability to do math, I don't know, folks. I think this country's, well, at least Oregon, is headed. The crime rate's going to go out the roof. And talk about, okay, now sign your name. There's an X. Or, here's an application, fill it out. Well, guess what? They can't read. So now you got to sit somebody down with them, which is it's a job creator, I guess. Okay, question number 1 here, sir or ma'am or it or you or they or thou or however you people want to use pronouns nowadays. This individual sits in a chair, stands, walks, farts, jogs and plays. I don't know how you liberals are going to make this world turn in the next millennium, but I'm just going to sit here and laugh and sit here and just look at the same. Everybody's going to go, what? Wait, tell me this is not an April Fool's joke. But it's not. It's reality. It's these people that somehow got a degree in whatever and managed to move their way up into the government and said, let's do it this way. It didn't work that way. Let's try it this way. It'll never hit the... It'll never... when the leather hits the street, folks, a lot of people sitting out there, I know why. You know what? This makes perfectly good sense. UBI. Universal Basic Income. We're going to have a whole class of folks sitting out there making babies, sitting around. They're not going to be wealthy unless they pool all their money together and form some kind of kibbutz or, something like that. It's the only way to see them doing it. Is all these people will put their money together and go buy a cruise ship. See ya. Don't want to be ya. No preparedness here. That one's a head scratcher to me, folks. I don't know about you, but I gotta go. Oh, today at 2:20, exactly 2 hours and 15 minutes, if you've opted into it, your cell phone's going to give you a test message from FEMA. Now, don't be all friggity diggity diggity wiggity because it's just a test. Obama, during his administration, did an executive order mandating that all telecommunications infrastructure, TV, radio, internet, will have this electronic media suppressor where the government can come in and turn a switch and start giving out national warnings in case of emergency or disaster. So if the Russians are coming, you're going to get a notification on your cell phone or TV or radio that they're on their way. Or the 35-minute, okay, folks, bend over and kiss your ass goodbye because the bomb's going to drop. Bye now.